The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
Vale. Bueno.
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Oh. Cofre. ¿Puedo entrar por aquí?
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
¿A dónde vais, flipaos?
Apologies.
Con la espada mellada
ourselves out.
y oxidada. Vamos a ver.
Not.
Bueno, ellos se lo han buscado. Creo que no le daba a nadie. A ver, ¿dónde está el mago? Me cago. Esquiva con el R1.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long
¡Anda!
dead.
Sé quién eres.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
Creo que sé quién es.
Blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died.
Sí que sé quién es. Sé quién es.
My lord.
Sí.
I knew not whom I
Es que íbamos
addressed.
con él en las
You
primeras
have naught to fear
misiones.
from us. Founder, it really is you.
O sea, que los bandidos son los guardias ducales auténticos de Rosaria. Tómate. Tócate los cojones.
So wait.
¡Ja! Suba 2 más 2.
We can speak inside.
Realmente nadie lo vio morir. Ah, bueno, mira, no están muertos. Solo inconsciente.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far.
Do what you want,
And we
'cause a
banded
pirate
together
is
to
free.
form the
You
Guardians
are
of the
a
Flame
pirate.
soon
You're
after.
hard-fitted indeed. Being a pirate is a right indeed. Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Gracias por esos 31 meses de suscripción, Gatet. Gracias por el urqueito. Ajo. ¿Te vas? ¿Vienes? ¿Dejas la sub y te vas?
Alas,
Gachas.
There is only so
Está feo.
much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of
¿Qué se
an
le va a hacer?
empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her.
No sabes nada de ella por lo que estoy viendo, Clive.
Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No te preocupes, un no.
No offense, my lord. But in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only
¿Qué
seems to have
dices?
grown.
Que tienes un medio hermano,
As to
tócate los
why,
pies.
I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Ojalá su nuevo hijo tenga
Her
poderes también.
son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Sí, sí, para él su madre no hizo
So
nada,
do
por eso
we.
estoy diciendo que
Make
no
ready.
sabe, no conoce realmente a su madre. En cuanto sepa lo que pasó en Pórtico del Fénix, buah, se va a cagar.
This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you.
Ay, putos mocos, me estoy ahogando
For the
por
good
dentro.
of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that.
No ha dicho
Very well.
sabía, ha dicho esperaba.
If that is
Malditos
your wish,
traductores.
I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
Ay, Phil, yo me he levantado porque me
So
agaba por
wait.
los mocos, te entiendo
Let us
perfectamente.
do our
Franco.
duty.
Bienvenido a mi día a día.
With pleasure, my lord.
Ayer además me he levantado con
I
un
imagine
dolor de
this endeavor
cabeza,
will require more than just our
que yo
wits.
creo que ha sido por la
And let's
cantidad
hope
de
Sir
mocos
Wade
que
has a
tenía
good
aquí.
quartermaster.
Puta madre.
Allow me to tend to your
Catet,
needs,
¿qué tal
my
el
lord.
colegio nuevo? ¿Para cuánto tienes? No sé lo que es esto, pero vamos a comprar unas cuantas.
As you wish, my lord. Will that be all? It has been an honor.
¡A la guerra, a la guerra!
Tell us then, Sir
Sí,
Wade.
sí, correcto. Tal cual.
What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You,
Ah, las
Lady Jill and
traducciones
I
de hoy en
make for
día.
Buick Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Este directamente lleva el uniforme de los guardias ducales.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Con la virreina. Qué ganas de reventarle la cara. Algunos personajes se unen a tu grupo como acompañantes durante un tiempo. Sin embargo, no podrán acompañarte si te desplazas a otra ubicación del mapa. Vale. ¿Hay secundarias? No. Vela. Vamos allá.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village, we tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Y nosotros que nos estábamos buscando nos encontramos en menos de un día. O patéticos, de verdad. Vaya guardia más ineficiente. ¿Qué ha pasado? ¿Se han echado de la puerta?
Look at me sideways. How was the Black Shields?
Come along now. We'll find another bridge.
Te va a enterar.
The bastards are lucky I didn't have my axe.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
Hola, vengo a reventaros el culete.
What is it now? I told you.
Se te acaba
We
la
bear a
semana que viene
message
ya.
to the Vicereine, from the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields?
Iba a
Then
decir
come!
que la mujer puede sola con vosotros, pero creo que es peor para ellos decir que el perro puede solo con vosotros.
For us area!
For us area!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
¿Ya? ¿Ahora sí? Ah, no. ¡Que no te cubras! ¡Hombre!
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
Necesito opinión de una cosa que estoy haciendo, una lista de juegos que puedo, y si siguen poniéndose gallitos a pesar de haber salido 4 de ellos por la solo golpe. Efectivamente. Acercan más enemigos, sí, vale, pero el dragón. No, no, no hagas esta mierda, no me gusta. Lo que he ganado. Vale. Sí, lo que he ganado. A ver. Vale ahí. Vale, ya está. Uf.
A noble stand,
¡Ay, un dragón
albeit
fino!
a misguided one.
A ver, en este juego se puede esquivar.
In taking it,
Y va.
you have but
Acuérdate de
proven
usar el botón
our
de esquivar.
point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
ataque.
There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?
Nice try.
Get him!
Ahí. Yo me acuerdo que puedo usar esto. Que no se pueden terminar. Level up. Porque no tienen final. Gas.
I don't
¿Qué
see any
significa
more.
eso?
Nor do I.
Oh.
The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation
Eso es
we
Diablo
once
3.
knew is gone for good.
Ha salido el
Her
4 y estamos
fields
jugando al
rot.
Diablo 3.
Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it, as we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
Perdón, necesitaba desatascar. Exclamación follow AG. Con G. Follow H. Si no, cualquier moderador te lo podría decir. Clicando en tu nombre.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel
Madre mía,
back
cuántas
then,
cosas estás escribiendo el
I
bot ahí.
wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, He plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
Bueno, no me he enterado de lo que han hablado. No, lleva siguiendo desde el 30 de enero de 2021. Y eso que dice de septiembre de 2023 es que ha debido de cambiar una política. Y para actualizar el comando tengo que darle yo a la... al link ese. Luego lo miro.
Thank you, Zoid. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
Enero de 2021, sí señor. Te agradece un no. ¡Barcos!
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
¿Estamos en casa de tu tío? Nada, no te preocupes.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago.
Oh.
And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue.
¿Y la espada?
You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant
no es invisible.
to her serene holiness, Saint Sybil, the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Entiendo que le habrán quitado la otra, porque la otra tampoco la tiene. Haciendo el paripé.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you.
Ha dicho querido niño, no hijo mío.
You always were fond of that scene from The Saint and the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
No llores, no, para esto no. No te preocupes. Tranquilo, tranquilo.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
Más lágrimas derramó Sid, efectivamente. Lo de Sid fue peor. Pobrecito. No me lo esperaba.
Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford.
A dejar el hacha ahí.
So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you?
Yep.
Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but
yo creo que nunca existió, ¿eh? Estáis un poco equivocados.
A monster sits in her place.
A monster.
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive.
¿Qué dices? ¿Cuántos?
The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Incluso si no se lo cree. Eso es familia.
On your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing.
La musiquita.
The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy. But now
bueno, no soy estrictamente Cid, solo hemos heredado el nombre.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass.
El tío se lo pasa guay, ¿eh?
This will be fun.
Gracias por pasarte un no, que tengas buen día. Es normal que no le crean, no tiene ese vozarrón. Realmente. Es como dice Sefi, una voz pegada a un hombre. O un hombre pegado a una voz, ¿cómo era? Al revés. Un hombre pegado a una voz.
She's a fine ship, isn't she? Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days. Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung a sword, but another's.
Abrázala, Clive.
I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused.
Consólala.
And before I knew it, I no longer felt
Creo que lo he
anything.
dicho mal. Consuélala.
Anything at all.
O dale la mano. ¡Haz algo!
I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
¿Por qué vais a volver al lago? ¿Por qué van a volver al lago? ¿Para qué? ¿Por qué queréis volver al lago? ¿Por qué?